Hi everyone, it's July 1st, which means that it's time to talk about our crew pattern for Closet Core Crew 2024. This is our 7th pattern in our capsule stone collection, which has been one of the most fruitful and fun kind of creative exercises for us as a pattern company. And we are here to talk about the Terrazzo dress, which I am wearing right now and which you can see behind me. And I think this is like probably maybe my favorite pattern for crew so far this year. Definitely one of my favorite dress patterns that we've designed. And the kind of impetus for this came when I was in London last year. And whenever I'm traveling in a big city, if I'm in New York or Paris or London or whatever, I don't go sightseeing, I go shopping or window shopping, and I go into the big department stores and I go into all the indie stores and I just kind of see what's happening, and I sit on a street corner and I drink coffee and I watch what they're wearing. And what I started seeing over and over again was this drawstring was really starting to happen. And this kind of all of these dresses that were being shaped with drawstring. So I'm sure this isn't going to be the first time you see this. I'm sure you're gonna start seeing more sewing patterns that have this detail. And you're certainly gonna be seeing it in ready to wear. And it's such a fun detail because it allows you to kind of create structure and shape with just by pulling on a string. There's no elastic in this. It's really just a drawstring that's giving you the shape at the waist. And so that's kind of the primary feature of Terrazzo. But you also have these like magnificent, I don't know, would we call them a bishop sleeve? These really big, beautiful gathered balloon sleeves that are also shaped. If you take a look at the pattern piece, it's a pretty wild shape that allows you to get this cool structure coming in with the sleeve. And then the other thing that we wanted was, okay, so it's kind of got this romantic vibe with all of this gathering. We wanted a really kind of modern, sharp neckline. And that is what you are getting here. So basically the neckline actually ends in a point. It's almost like a star shape, and then it comes down and it comes into a very narrow V. So it's not a wide V here. You can see there's maybe not even an inch here, and then it ends in this really pretty point, and this is all shaped with a facing. This dress, for some reason, one of the flaps kept flapping open. I don't know if it was because it was cut on, there was like a bias thing happening, so it was driving me nuts. So I actually just pressed in this little collar, and I actually think it's really cute. So this is another option, is you can basically press this neckline into a collar shape if that's what you desire. But basically you have this really cool sharp neckline that gives it a bit of a modern edge. And then basically the dress itself is quite wide. All of the shaping is created with this gathering. And what I think is really fun about this pattern is that you can kind of decide how much shaping you want. So on this dress form, I've tightened it quite a lot, so it's quite snug and snatched in the waist. But then on this one, white one, we've left it a little bit looser, so it's a little bit more billowy and not as defined through the waist. So it's really kind of up to you how much definition you want to give yourself with those drawstrings. And then the location of the drawstring is also up to you. So on the pattern, we have some suggested locations, but you might decide you want more of an empire waist. Maybe you want to add 3 or 4 to have like a lot of definition. Once again, we're sewing on our own clothes. This is the beautiful and fun thing, is that you can customize them and make it your own. The other thing that I love about Terrazzo is this big, beefy, meaty hem. And in ready to wear, a lot of times you don't see hems like this because it's extra fabric and it makes the garment more expensive. But again, in sewing, for me, it gives this really lovely structure to the hem and really kind of gives it the body that it needs in order to kind of hold this shape. So speaking of shape, I think for Terrazzo, the #1 most important thing that you are going to need to know when you go to make it is the type of fabric. And for us, I think what this works really, really well in is crisp, structured cottons. Yes, you could use a linen. I'm sure this would look really pretty in a viscose. But what we found with that crisp cotton, and particularly like a poplin, is that it really holds its shape. So you get this really cool billowy sleeve. You get these really nice sharp kind of lines along the neckline. And the drawstring is much easier to pull within the channel because you don't have any kind of texture. Like with linen, you have a bit more of like a rustic texture. So I think that, you know, inserting your tie through here, maybe it'd be a little bit harder to manipulate, but with something smooth like a poplin, you just have a little bit more flexibility. So as always, we've created fabric kits for this if you're a crew member. And so what we've used is this new poplin that I actually want to talk about. It's the crisp poplin that we've just debuted at Core Fabrics. This is actually like one of my babies. I really, when we were designing this pattern, I really knew what kind of fabric I wanted. I wanted a super, super crisp, almost taffeta-like poplin. And so we actually custom designed this fabric. It's got a really tight, smooth weave, and it comes in this palette of super beautiful, bright summer colors. And that's what we used for both of these samples. So in the lime green and in the white, that is what we used, is that crisp poplin. And it's organic cotton, and it's like my favorite fabric, and it literally didn't exist until we thought it up and picked out our colors and had our supplier like custom weave this fabric for us. So this is a really big moment for us. It's one of our first kind of custom fabric lines, and it really works. I don't want to get into the whole crisp poplin, but that fabric really works for anything like this that has like lots of pleats and gathers, and anything where you really want the shape to be held. The version I'm wearing right now is in the silky poplin from Core Fabrics. So it's also poplin, it's also smooth, it's a little bit lighter weight. It doesn't have that structure, so it's not kind of holding the shape as well as the crisp poplin is, but it's another beautiful option. So like I said, you can experiment with different types, but we really recommend crisp, smooth-faced cottons for this pattern. I think it's gonna get the coolest results. If you're using other types of fabric, use the hashtags so that we can see what you're making, because I'd love to see this pattern in different fabrics. And then just to show you the back, we have really like a nice high cut back. The gathers run all the way around, so you actually have 2 rows of channeling. There's 2 channels here, there's 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and then the ties come out the side, and then this is where you can kind of adjust them, tie them in bows, tie them in knots, again, like another little kind of way you can personalize it, make it your own. Maybe you don't want to make fabric ties and you want to use ribbon, or I don't know, whatever you want, string, cording, whatever you want, can all go in here. So that is the Terrazzo dress. Like all crew patterns, it is available to crew members only, but you do not need to, there's not a big commitment with crew. You can just come in for the month, get Terrazzo and leave, or if you want, you can join us every month where we are developing and designing a new pattern as part of that stone collection every month. All of these patterns are kind of designed to mix and match and make this really beautiful capsule wardrobe at the end of the year. In addition to a monthly membership, we have an annual membership called Unlimited, and you get, with an unlimited membership, not only the 6 patterns we've designed for the stone collection this year, you get another 12 in the year to come, and you get every pattern we've actually designed so far. At this point, I think is 18. You also get a 15% off discount to Closet Core Patterns, Deer and Doe Patterns, which is join the Closet Core family, and Core Fabrics. And you also get access to our unlimited only channel for fitting, called The Fitting Room with Gabby Brown, and we have a kind of industry fitting expert that is there to help you resolve any fitting issue you might have, regardless of pattern company. People are really loving that, especially fitting something you struggle with on a day-to-day basis. Having just a person that you can go to ask who's going to give you good advice is really great. And then of course, whether or not you're unlimited or monthly, you can join us in our crew community, which is my favorite place online. It is a lovely, warm, welcoming community that is not on social media. It's private, it's the best. It's my favorite place to go when I want to talk about sewing these days. So a lot comes with crew, not just this incredible dress that we know that you are going to love and wear, and I cannot wait to see what you're making. Hashtag Closet Core Terrazzo. So that is it for us. We hope you enjoyed this pattern, and we'll see you next month.